talking about today. This is Rebecca. My name is Plana. And today we're going to talk about righteous indignation.
What does that mean to you?
Okay, so this is Adriana, and she said that she's willing to answer the question, what is righteous indignation?
I honestly have no idea what that term means. I have a feeling that my lack of knowledge about the term says something about that. Righteous indignation, I don't know. Probably, I have a feeling that it means something like you're just like too high up to realize what the problem is.
We just met this fine gentleman, Khalil, here that said he would be willing to participate in our project. Khalil, what do you think righteous indignation is?
When I hear the word righteous, I think of purity. Indignation sounds something like indigenous, so I'm thinking it has to do with pure people that might be in a certain
So
area.
we're here with Cleo, and Cleo's agreed to be part of the video. Cleo, have you ever heard of the phrase righteous indignation?
I have not.
What do you think it means?
I think it's native cultures embracing their culture that they have been suppressed for centuries, and now they're back. They're trying to bring it back. And
Hi, this is Richard Stepp, and today we're going to ask him what righteous indignation means. So Richard, do you know what that word means?
Well, indignation means that you're insulted by something. Righteous indignation might be that you're insulted by something and you're in the right to be insulted by it.
Nail on the head with that one, didn't
he? Sure did.
But dictionary.com defines it as anger and contempt with a feeling that it is one's right to feel that way.
So, to break down the meaning of righteous indignation in African American cultural history, we are going to talk about some important figures in Black history and look at the way in which they expressed their indignation.
Now, there are a metric ton of people that feel that their anger is justified and morally sound. However, we're going to discuss 4 subjects today.
Stokely Carmichael, also known as Kwame Ture, was a fiery civil rights activist, and his famous speech, Black Power, was a great example of how he expressed his indignation against racial discrimination. His speech was actually inspired by the murder of his friend James Meredith, who, in the act of standing up for his right, got shot in the chest and died.
Bobby Seale was one of 2 men that established the Black Panther Party. It was him and Huey Newton.
Mm-hmm.
And they established the Black Panther Party initially to kind of like have a not witness protection program.
It was like a tactic in protecting and fighting for the Black community, would you say?
Yeah, it started off as a neighborhood watch, and as police brutality increased, the organization increased, and they continued to combat police brutality with like really assertive tactics, which is kind of what helped the organization gain momentum. They were fighting overall for justice, safety, and social equality for the Black community.
Some would even go as far as saying that their assertive tactics were almost aggressive.
So aggressive to the point that they eventually became target of a secret FBI.
They were a target for an FBI
counterintelligence program,
right,
called COINTELPRO.
That is COINTELPRO, one word.
COINTELPRO. And if you haven't seen The Spook Who Sat by the Door yet, it's on YouTube. You gotta check it out.
It is a really good movie.
It perfectly depicts moments in history, like very cultural history, you know, afros,
Bell bottoms, turtlenecks,
funkadelic,
cigarettes all day, every day,
explosions,
queens, black queens.
Yep, the works. Like in our current society, though, there are organizations like the Black Lives Matter movement that have brought like national attention to injustices that are driven by their indignation.
So for the Black Lives Matter, I think members of the group were inspired by the death of Trayvon Martin, who he was a 17-year-old who was shot and murdered by a police officer by the name of George Zimmerman, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And in that same year, in 2016, 136 black people were shot. Or I don't know if they were shot, but they were
Murdered.
in the hands of law enforcement. And that was according to the Huffington Post.
So, to sum it up, anger is not an easy emotion to wrestle with.
But in times of grave injustices, some like Solange Knowles would say, I got a lot of big murder.